All right, hello friends and followers. Well, guess what happened now? Here's the Jackson drive from the Swan 350. This is the front Jackson drive, or the first one that the tuning knob would go on to. So anyway, yeah, I took it apart, take a look at what's in this darn thing, and yeah, the tuning knob, just mounts on here. And it turns this Jackson drive. So this part is mounted to the frame, and when this turns, I think it's a 1:6 ratio. So what's inside this thing? Well, first of all, how does it go back together? So this shaft here has a little race for the bearings. So the bearings go in these holes here. As you can see the holes. Let's get some light in here. The bearings go in those holes. There's 4 bearings, and one hit the floor and rolled away, but I found it. So the bearings go right in those holes, and they ride against this race. You can see a little grooved race there. If I pull that out, the bearings will ride against that. So I've inspected this, and I don't see any real imperfections in this thing that's going to make it have a sticky spot. It looks fine. Okay, so the bearings also ride along this thing as a race. So this upper lip here is also a race for the bearings. And you can see some wear on this one. But is there exceptional wear, or is there irregular wear? No, it looks fine. So I might want to sand that off or scrape it off a bit better, but so if I was going to put this thing back together, I would put the bearings in, of course. Put the bearings back in the holes. Plop them in there. And then you would want to install the bearing race on it. Like that. And so the bearings are all snugged in there. Oh, actually, no, this is wrong. Or is it right? I think that's correct. Or not. I know it had a compression washer in here. I will have to look at the original video, I guess. I think it went like this. Compression washer, yeah. And then this goes in here. And then that bearing race on top. Because, yeah, there's got to be a little bit of a way to tune this thing to just put enough pressure on it to, so yeah, the way I did it was I put in the compression washer and then this other washer, and then I think this goes back on there. Like that. I guess no, it looks wrong. I'm going to look at the original video that I have of this thing to get it back together. So that's how fallible I can be anyway at memorizing this stuff. Even the fact I took it apart 10 minutes ago. That's nice. Anyway, this is how the race looks. So what can I do useful now? I'm going to try and grease it with some grease if I can find the grease from after my move. I'm going to try and grease this thing and see if it'll go. I actually kind of want to try it without grease and just see what it will do. So can I just try it without grease? Can I just try it by putting the bearings back in there and plunking them in? That might be interesting. Let's see. So I have the bearings. So the bearings like roll off this desk like crazy. So I need to have some way to capture them. I guess I'm going to use a meter as a dam so they won't run away. Oh, the meter won't work. I need some way to capture the bearings so they won't run off my desk. Maybe this little computer server will work. I have a little Levano desktop computer that I will use as a dam here. Okay, that is in place. And maybe that'll stop the bearings from rolling down onto the floor again. Okay, so we have a little dam in place here, and the bearings, I'm going to try and grip them now and to move them away from where they are. because they roll onto the floor easily. There's one rolling away. Okay, so there's the bearing, and getting them off one by one. There's one there. Sorry, this is very pedantic and boring, I know. But when you're reverse engineering someone's stuff, what are you going to do? All right, I'm just going to plunk these in here. These were hard to get out, actually, so I'm going to plunk that one in, plunk. Oh, look at that. It kind of plunks in on its own. So get these guys out of here and plunk them into. Jeez, this is difficult. I can't even get these things. Okay, I got two of them in. And they seem to self-center. This is actually an ingenious little device. It looks like a British company made these things that, you know, was making radios in the 30s and stuff. And they called it Jackson Brothers, even though it was a fictitious name. And I guess they were in London proper, so. All right, now I'm going to insert this rod here. And those should make the bearings stand out a bit and be proud. And now I'm kind of locked in where it should be, so it's in the groove. Okay, so that's done. And now it would be a trick that you would want to have them all not fall out. And sorry about the camera here. I don't have much angle for this damn camera. I'm on a coffee cup here. Okay, and we'll put this down. Maybe the bearings, bearings have to go in first or later. See that? See that? There's already problems here. Already screwing it up. And now you see how they shoot down? When I plunk them out, they go flying down the desk. At any rate, more like a kid's game here, right? With bearings and balls and everything else. All right, got two of them out. Third one's out. You hear it hitting the paper, the cardboard on my desk. And the fourth one is out. Now, we're gonna put this thing into here and then plunk in the bearings. So now that's in like that. And these bearings plunk in there. Plunk, plunk, plunk. And let's see how that goes. Of course, I can't grip them. Okay, there's one. Plunk, plunk. Yep, it's in there. It went way in there. It went too far in there. So what if they go in too far? What happens? They go across and they hit the other hole, maybe? Don't know, don't care. Let's get the other one in here. Whoa. Yeah, these will roll off your desk so fast on the floor, it'll make your head spin. Okay, let's get that one in. There it is. Get this one in. I'm just curious if I get these in here, if it'll spin correctly at all. Since I've cleaned all the gunk out of it. Some people on Heathkit groups were saying, oh yeah, you just clean these things up and they work. So that's all I did. I cleaned out any kind of crud I saw on it. And then they were saying you gotta lubricate them, so let's do that. Okay, these are all in. And now I'm thinking that I gotta put this in. Whoa, one just fell out. This is gonna be fun, huh? That's back in. Let's put this in. And that'll probably make them fly out. Or not. Going in the wrong side. That's smart of me. Why is that the wrong side? Because it is. Goes in from the other side. Goes in that way. All right, let's push the bearings out a bit. Now I should be able just to hold this race on here and see how it goes. So I'm holding the race on now, and how does it feel? Holding the race on. And what happens? Oh yeah, I can feel it working. So when I just hold this on my fingers and turn it, it works nicely. There's no, there's no bad spots where it's heavy to turn it, so it doesn't skip. So it looks like if I just put some oil in this thing and reassemble it correctly, it'll work. That's what I'm thinking. Okay, well, it looks like it works nicely. Very nicely. So you think, how does this thing work? It works via bearing spinning a smaller radius onto a larger radius, I think. I don't know. It's kind of cool. Maybe it works by the size of the bearing. It's basic mathematics. But it works like this. So, yep, that works. So now the trick is to reassemble it correctly with new grease, and that may fix it. Okay, so that's the next step. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.